I was working at CrossFit Kings Point at the time, and they had a mic set up. And one day I just picked up the mic and started. It was a noon class. It was a bunch of moms, and I just start, kind of introducing, almost like wrestling style.
That's awesome.
And believe it or not, somebody caught it on a cell phone. Put it, how it works now. They put it on Facebook, and it kind of spread. And my good friend Dylan saw it, and we kind of joked back and forth. And the next thing you knew, kind of some opportunities opened up.
Welcome to the Unbroken Podcast with Chris Crosby. I'm really excited. I have a special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Brenton Roggow.
Brenton Roggow. See, I was hesitant to say your last name because I wasn't sure how to say it. We've talked. I think the first time we officially talked was when I was getting ready to record Jess's podcast. I just come in and I recognized you from a bunch of different events and I knew you emceed a bunch of stuff, and I was just like, let's have you on the podcast. But that's cool. So Brenton, I'm really excited to have you here. Like I said, I've seen you at things for about 3 years now, and I'm really excited to get the chance to sit down and talk to you for the first time.
Yeah, man, appreciate it a lot. It's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it. So when I first met you, you were just like, hey, I'm friends with Jared, and I played football with him. So let's lead up to football. What did you do as a kid? What was your kind of background in athletics?
Yeah. So big into sports, growing up. Got into high school. I'm from Midwest Nebraska, a town called North Platte, small town, about 28,000 people, where football is life there.
I was about to say, no, football's not important in Nebraska, right?
Yep. So got brought up, playing football. And to be completely honest with you, man, it wasn't my favorite sport. Really enjoyed playing basketball, but due to the way things kind of panned out throughout high school, I decided that after my senior year, or getting towards the later part of my senior year, it's time to seek out some potential football scholarships, and was able to get an opportunity to have a minimal scholarship at Evangel to start off, kind of just to work on. And
right down here in Springfield, Missouri.
Yep. So I was able to. I came in 2005 is when I graduated high school, and came that fall, and spent 5 years with the team, and really enjoyed my time there, man. It was a great time.
Cool. So you played some college ball, and did that proceed into anything else after, or it was just...
Yeah, so I played, played college ball for 5 years. Did the redshirt thing the first year, kind of matured a little bit as an athlete, and really grew into a role. 2007 was probably my best season. That would have been my redshirt sophomore season.
Okay.
My career, unfortunately, cut a little short due to knee injuries. I tore my right ACL first game of the year, my junior year.
Oh, man.
Blew everything out, so that kind of cut that season short. And then the next season, I blew it out 2 weeks before the season started. So my career there was kind of cut a little short. I did, however, kind of make a little push. Post-college, I played for the local team here, the Springfield Wolfpack.
Okay.
Played on that arena team for a year, just kind of felt like I had a little bit of football left in me. Yeah. Just want to hit people a couple more times, get hit a couple times.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. It was a fun experience, and I really enjoyed playing with those guys.
That's cool. And Evangel is a great college. I just heard a lot of good stuff about it, and a lot of awesome athletes. I mean, so many people from CrossFit 417 is from Evangel, and you work now at Evangel.
Yeah. So God has a crazy way of working things out, man. He's definitely blessed me in a lot of areas, especially as of late. I moved up here early fall, late summer. I talked to Jared, decided that I was living in Florida for the last about 4 years. Decided it was time for a change, and called up my good friend Jared, and I knew that they had just recently went to the games and really wanted to see what opportunities I had of being part of their community and what they had going on. So I gave him a call, and he's like, okay, I need you in about a week. It was a week leading up to the games, and they needed somebody to kind of hold down the fort while everyone was gone. So came up here, jumped right in, got to know the members the first about 2 weeks. I was pretty much on my own because the following of the games and all the main coaches were already out there supporting. So it was cool, man. I got thrown in. I've been coaching CrossFit now for coming up on already like 3 or 4 years.
Okay, man. So you did that out in Florida then?
Yep. I had 2 great facilities out there in the Orlando area that I worked for. 2 great gyms that that kind of took a chance on me and kind of bred the coach that I am today.
That's awesome.
And it turned into, like we were mentioning with the Evangel thing. I met Mallory Lawson. She's one of the team members here for 417.
Yeah, and she coaches volleyball at Evangel,
yeah,
right?
She coaches volleyball at Evangel. We had kind of known each other a little bit just through, obviously, mutual friends. She had seen me coach a couple of times up here, and she was like, "Hey, I'd love to see you help me out at Evangel. We run some exercise classes there for the faculty and for the students and stuff. If that'd be something you're interested in."
Are they boot camp style?
Yeah,
classes?
yeah, boot camp. We'll do a little bit of CrossFit style stuff too with some of the students, but mainly boot camp style classes with the faculty and like I said, the students there. So I was running about 3 classes a day there for them too. So that was a good experience, and through that exposure, Coach Elam, who's the head football coach at Evangel, had approached me soon thereafter, and he had knew that I was an alum and I'd spent some time on the team, and through Mallory and my opportunities there, he saw my background as far as my experience playing ball and now in fitness, and gave me an opportunity to work with the football team, and I took it. So I started as just a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
Did that for the first about 6 weeks of the season. They had some staff changes, had a receiver coaching position open up.
Okay.
And I was kind of next on deck and jumped on that opportunity as well. So wear a lot of different hats, man.
That's cool.
But it's fun, and I love it.
It keeps it interesting. Is that what you played back as a receiver? Or?
Yep. I played wide receiver all 5 years there. That's actually how me and Jared got really close.
Okay.
Believe it or not, Jared was number 6, I was number 7. So
nice.
Lockers right next to each other, and a lot of good times, man.
Did you guys play all 4 years together, or?
Yep, so he was there. He graduated a year before I was done,
Okay.
but I did get to play with his brother the whole time.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
like I remember just seeing you guys around, and for some reason, I mean, you guys 6 and 7, but I almost thought you guys were brothers for a while too. I'm like, that's Jared's brother. Do you ever get that? Like,
oh yeah. I think I hear that about as much as anybody else. Everywhere I go, I kind of tease him that I disagree at this point. Are you Jared Stevens, or are you related to Jared Stevens? Definitely take it as a compliment.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there's a lot worse to be compared against.
Right.
I shave my beard, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Let me sign that for you.
Exactly, man. It's a great compliment. He's one of my best friends, and it's been really cool being out here and being able to spend as much time with him as I get to.
That's cool, man. So let's backtrack a little bit. So you did the strength and conditioning. Like, what kind of programming or what kind of approach do you? Because a gym is different. You have the general. I know Jared does a programming here, but when people come up to you and ask for help, it's most of the people you're working with are moms, not a professional athlete or a college level athlete. How did you switch focuses on a strength and conditioning program for really already strong athletes, football players?
Yeah, for me coming in, like I had mentioned, most of my experience in the fitness realm was in a CrossFit setting. So I get a great opportunity to work with moms and dads and things like that. But when the opportunity arose to be a strength and conditioning coach, I mean, you're talking 90 plus guys that are just, all they want to do is lift weights. They want to be strong.
Just get strong.
And that was a really exciting part of the beginning of what I was getting myself into. So for me, there's a lot of aspects of what I do as far as the team development, but the biggest things is we got to get stronger, which is going to make us more physical on the field, and then we also got to get to the point where we're healthy and mobility, things like that. Football players don't really have that as a priority for them.
Right.
So we spend a lot of time doing mobility exercises, technique stuff. So not only are these athletes strong, but they're also sound in their movements. Their body functions are very clean and crisp, and that's going to translate to the field.
It's more deliberate. They put themselves in that spot because they can get there.
Yep, and I was actually able to, right before the break here, we spent about a 2-week time just doing straight informational stuff, man. We took them through basically a full hour session, almost like they had never worked out before.
Yeah.
We walked them through the techniques of a squat, my expectations as a coach, and as far as depth, everything that goes into the movement.
Not one of those bro squats where you just get maybe to parallel.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I really wanted to clean up with the team. I figure if we can get these guys moving safe, and they're going to get stronger regardless. But we need to clean some things up from an injury aspect first.
What are some of the coolest things that you saw as the strength and conditioning coach with these players? I mean, basically, I know these guys come in. You almost have to pull the reins back on them. But what did you see? Is there a story that stands out to you?
Yeah, for me, kind of a little bit what we've touched on so far is the brotherhood of what I built while I was there, and it's been really cool kind of seeing that develop. now. Kind of being in a leadership role, but seeing those guys really push each other. I'm trying to think of like a specific time. I know that we had some of the guys up there not too long ago, a couple of linebackers that were helping me. We got a bunch of new equipment for our facilities, and we were up there moving stuff around. And, and it's really cool to see those guys hungry to learn and just experience, what I can bring to the table. And it's been a very humbling experience to have those guys look at you and want to be like you and want your help. It's been really cool.
Well, they look up to you. I mean, like, you're not one of those coaches that have the beer gut and they have the knowledge, but you have the knowledge, but you also are like, you can clang and bang with them and actually show them good technique.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I think we're gonna have to maybe mess around with that a little bit this winter. I have to show those boys kind of how to do it a little bit.
if anyone could outlift me,
I'm sure there's gonna be a little bit of those competition periods.
That makes it fun though.
This winter. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I only played like middle school and high school ball, but we had one coach. I remember that, like when he got into the mix of it with us. And I felt like we had a whole lot more respect for him. I mean, we respect our coach. Our coach knew everything, but I felt like there was that extra special bond with that guy that we almost, like you said, like a brotherhood. And like, all right, he's running that mile with us. He told us to go run a mile, and now he's running and talking us through that mile. And I was just like, holy crap, that I was dying through it. And he's like, all right, come on, Crosby, let's go. So, I mean, that's cool that you're in there lifting with them. And
yeah, exactly. Just like, almost like you mentioned, just a big brother mentality, It's they can kind of look up to me, and it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
So, tell me about how you got into the emceeing events. Like, I mean, I remember you doing Shred Fest. You've done HOA several times.
This is my first
HOA. Yeah. Okay, and then did you do regional?
Did Shred Fest. Did Wadapalooza. Done Crush Games. I did an event called ESPN Wild World of Sports. And a couple different ones. I also did one called Extreme Top Box. So just kind of a bunch of different ones throughout the area. And to be completely honest, man, Dylan's gonna laugh, but I saw one of my friends, Dylan.
Uh-huh.
He's been doing it for a long time. He's one of the CrossFit guys that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working at CrossFit Kings Point at the time, and they had a mic set up. And one day I just picked up the mic and started. It was a noon class. It was a bunch of moms, and I just start, kind of introducing, almost like wrestling style.
That's awesome.
And believe it or not, somebody caught it on a cell phone. Put it, how it works now. They put it on Facebook, and it kind of spread. And my good friend Dylan saw it, and we kind of joked back and forth. And the next thing you knew, kind of some opportunities opened up. One of my friends, Mike Osuna, he's down there in Miami. He gave me an opportunity at the ESPN Wild World of Sports, and then from there, man, just kind of it's taken off.
So what's it like out there? I mean, like, you see these huge names, these huge CrossFitters, but also you have like your general public athlete, but just walking around, because that's one thing I really liked that I watched you at HOA this year. It didn't matter if it was the top heat or the beginning heat. You guys are walking around, hey, CrossFit 417 or CrossFit Springfield, and you were talking about like, hey, they're getting after it. You have X amount of weight on the bar, and I thought that was pretty cool to see. Like, so like when you go into those events, how do you approach it? Do you prepare at all, or?
Yeah, man, it's one of those things where I just really love the community aspect of what we got going on, and I love competition. I was big into it for a long time. Still flirt with it a little bit here and there, but for me, the experience of what we do as a community is really important. And when I'm out there, it's my job to kind of convey that to those to the spectators, especially the spectators that have never seen the sport before.
Right.
They're out there and they're watching these people throw around weights, and they don't even understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's really my job. I take it upon myself a little bit to take that opportunity to explain not only what's going on, but shine the light on some athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the big names, the small names, it doesn't matter, because they're all here to compete at the same level. That's the cool part about CrossFit.
Right.
Just because you're in scale, just because you're an elite, doesn't matter. You're here to compete.
Yeah.
And it's my job to make sure that experience is a good one. And honestly, man, I love it. It's funny. I believe it or not, I am kind of a shy person, but there's something about when that mic comes on and the lights kick on. I had a great experience last year at Wadapalooza where you kind of have that awe moment, and I had it last year, and I'm stoked of what this year's gonna bring.
So tell me about you're getting ready to do Wadapalooza again. So how's that like? So is there a couple of you guys emceeing? Are you out there the whole weekend, or like what?
Yeah, so Wadapalooza is definitely one of the biggest of the year. It's down there in Miami, and it is a blast, man. They have last year we had 3 stages going on. So we had about 2 MCs per stage on top of kind of the rotation. So I believe last year we held about 8 MCs.
Wow.
This year I'm sure it'll be just as big, if not bigger.
Yeah,
I know the staff team, kind of like mentioning what we started with, is just some intro emails and things like that. We're talking over 15 people in those emails, from the production staff to the actual talent and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where it started. We've gotten our packets, we've gotten our information about the event. And then I fly in next Thursday, I'll fly in the morning. We'll have meetings that afternoon and that night, kind of prepping, going over staging. They do a great job. Guido and Dylan do a great job of really taking care of us and explaining everything that our expectation level is. So I'll go in there, they'll have it all mapped out for me as far as the workouts and what I'm going to be announcing, and spend some time that night taking some notes, sketching in, top competitors if they're in that heat, things like that. And then Friday morning, the sun will come out, beautiful Miami, and they'll hand me a mic, and it's game time.
You're just going, man. And so I remember at HOA you had a clipboard, and so you have all your notes and stuff on there.
Yeah. So the biggest thing, like I said, one of my jobs is to convey the workout. So fortunate for me, I'm already a coach, so I understand the movements very well, standards and all that kind of stuff, and so explaining the workout's kind of the easy part. In the team aspect, it's easy as well because you can just mention CrossFits. I'd say the hard part is when you get those crazy names where you're looking at it kind of going...
Like Elizabeth Akinwale.
Yes,
But I mean, luckily a lot of those big names
And that's the cool part about our community. You see a lot of the same faces at the bigger events. And so you get to know these people and they become your friends. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate. I'm going to get to announce a lot of my friends here from 417. They're going to be making the trip down there. So
Isn't the girls from the 417 team, don't they have a team?
Yep, we got Mallory, Kelly, and Jess. They're going down there and representing 417.
Okay.
They're bringing an elite team down there. Jared's on a team as well. So it's gonna be a fun trip, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, the interview that I had last week, Joe, he's going down just as a coach. Like he coaches at Power and Grace. I mean, that tells me how big it is. Like they're flying him down there to support athletes, and so I mean that's going to be exciting to see what happens down there this weekend.
It's literally, I tell people this a lot, but it's one of the highlights of my winter. Getting down there, the venue is beautiful.
I mean, you're in Florida.
They do a great job of programming. I just saw a social media post this week. It's the only spot where you're going to see, swimming and wall balls the same workout. Right there in front of you, and it's, like I said, it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's a great time.
So how do you take care of your voice in a 3-4 day thing?
Yeah, biggest thing I learned early, I had a couple mentors around me, and those guys, they kind of weave the way for me a little bit, like, hey man, you need to make sure you're drinking your water as you're going through this, and make sure you have your hydration up, get your cough drops, get your gum, whatever you need to keep it going, because for instance, that one's going to be 3 long days, and I'm going to be Friday all day, Saturday all day, and Sunday, so it's going to be really important that come Sunday night, when we are doing the finals, you're still able to bring it the same way we were Friday night.
Right.
Yep.
That'll be fun. And when you're done for the night, is it work hard, play hard? Do you guys go out, all the MCs and stuff, and you guys go play and stuff afterwards?
I get an MC with a great group of guys. I've been able to, fortunately, this last year travel with. There's kind of a group of 4, about 6 of us that get to really hang out and spend some time together. Chase and Bill Grumler, they're the guys that get to do it up in the booth. So we get to hang out with those guys afterwards. Cool. And then myself, Mike, Larry, and Dylan, we have a great time together. We usually just go out, get some dinner. Yeah. None of us really talk very much because we're exhausted from the day. Get some good food in us, and everybody goes back to the room and kind of charges the batteries and hits it again. But we have a lot of fun, man. It's a great group.
I'm sure everything like this. One thing about CrossFit is we talk about that brotherhood, and it's not just in. For me, it's not just the working out and stuff, but it's the friendships and the community that you make outside. Because some of my best friends now are people I met at the gym, and now we go do stuff out of that. And so you're doing a job what's within that CrossFit community, and now they're not just coworkers, but I bet you consider them best friends.
Oh yeah, and you have so much in common with these people. They're gym owners, they're athletes, all the same stuff that you are. So when we get together, there's that competitiveness, there's the fun, there's the, how you been, how's your wife, how's your family, stuff like that, and it's cool to catch up and like you said, just have that bond.
Do you ever get that itch to to try out a workout while you're there watching it?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Me and my friend Dylan, he's down there in Miami. We've been known to try and get after a couple workouts.
Yeah.
After the lights are off,
You guys throw down.
You'll see us. Hey, that workout looked kind of fun. Let's give that one a try.
That's cool. Was there one that stuck out that
I do remember we did Granite Games, and those guys, man, they're hilarious, and we're all hanging out, and next thing you know, somebody starts handstand walking. And then the next person does it. The next person's like, well, I think I can go down and back.
Yeah.
And then, it just kind of builds from there. So it's fun.
Yeah, you guys are all fit in shape people, and like I 2 years ago I watched HOA, and I wanted to be out there so bad. I just had that itch. So you're around it all day. I can see how you're like, all right, I'm just gonna crank out some pull-ups and like get a workout. And I remember watching the CrossFit Games this year, and they had some of the event staff that were in the media booth, and they're like, we have 15 minutes, let's do a 10-minute WOD. And they're like in like polos and stuff doing burpees, and like we've been watching people work out all day. Let's get one in real quick.
Yeah, it gets you a little bit. By the end of the day, you're like, okay, I should probably do something since I've watched these people work out all day.
So have they talked to you about maybe doing regionals this next
that's
round?
my hope, man. Like I said, I've made some great connections throughout my time, and I'm one of those people that I've always just kind of put my best foot forward, and I work hard, and I try to put the best product out there, and hope that's going to reap the benefits. And I think this year there's some potential for that. I'm just trying to stay open to whatever doors come my way, and just get out there and rock it, man. Just enjoy it. Like I said, I love it, man. I'm pumped every time I do it, and I got 2 coming up this month, and I'm just going to enjoy it. It's so much fun.
So you're doing Wadapalooza, and what else are you doing?
I'm doing the one up there at Provision.
Okay, yeah.
With Jordan. Jordan's also one of my good friends.
Yeah.
Got to know him through CrossFit, and he asked me to help out with their local comp they got there. So that was going to be a lot of fun, too. And that's going to be the weekend right after Wadapalooza, so it'll be a little bit of back-to-back. That's how I love it. In the fall, I did actually 3 comps in 4 weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
I did HOA, which was obviously a big one.
Yeah.
I also did Crush Games down in Miami, and I also flew up to Minneapolis and did Granite Games, and that was within a 4-week span.
Holy cow.
Now, after that, I'm not going to lie, there was kind of a need to recharge the batteries a little bit. But now I'm vamped back up, and excited for this next month, and hopefully, like you mentioned, come open in regionals time, my name's called.
Yeah, who are you excited to see up at Wadapalooza?
Oh, man.
Besides the 417 peeps,
Of course, I got my home favorites, but, I've met a lot of just really cool people doing all the different comps. Sam Dancer's always been one of my favorite guys.
He can be another brother. You guys, you and Jared and Sam.
I figured that was coming at some point, but him and his wife, they've always just been so friendly and really welcoming. Just every time I see them, just good people. I was able to meet, quote unquote, some of the big name people last year at Wadapalooza. The Kalipas, the Dan Bailey was there.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me because when you sit down with those guys,
they're just guys. Yeah.
They're just bros that like to work out.
Yeah. My wife, when she got her level 1, it was with Chris Spieler, and my wife, she's not in touch with the CrossFit like celebrities. She's just like, I'm here to work out. I'm impressed when someone can do something not like awesome, and she knows a couple names, but. And I call her in the middle of their break, and I was like, "Who's your level 1? Like who?" And she's like, "Some guy named Chris from Utah." And I'm like, "Chris Spieler?" And she's like, "Do you want me to get a picture with him?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Chris Spieler." And she's like, "Okay, But the thing is he wasn't. She said he was super funny, just a nice guy, and she was just like, "Oh, he's just a really cool, nice guy." But that's the cool thing. Any experience I've had with any CrossFit celebrity, quote unquote celebrity, they're just, hey, I just work out really good. I'm really good at working out.
Yep.
And that's one thing. I've emailed several people for the podcast, and they're just like, yeah, just whenever you're near and let's do it. They're just not like, oh, who am I to do your podcast? Well, that's cool. So you're gonna go down there and see some people. Do you already know what the workouts are?
I don't. They usually don't release them, just, as far as keeping it under wraps.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get them on Thursday night
Okay.
and go over them. But, like I mentioned, every year they have some kind of swimming event, which is kind of cool in that Miami area. It's out in the open water on the ocean. most of the time they have some cool like max lift, things like that.
Yeah.
So the program every year has been pretty awesome. So I expect this year to be the same.
Do you have any guesses on a workout?
Oh man. I really hope they do some kind of. So one of my favorite workouts ever in CrossFit was at the games when they did that pull bar muscle up workout. I thought that was such a cool concept.
The one that Froning like died on.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh no!" But to see some kind of gymnastics thrown in with the swimming, I think that's something that a lot of people can't practice.
Yeah, you don't train for that.
Nope. So I think throwing in something like that with the open water swim and then some kind of gymnastic movement, I think that'd be something cool to see this year.
That'll be exciting. Are they gonna be broadcasting that this year or?
Yeah. Usually they do like an online stream for that as well. Flow Elite's been out there before in the past, and yeah, they'll do. There's gonna be so many big names there this year. I mean, we got Rich coming this year, which is exciting.
That's cool.
I saw Camille's gonna be there.
Okay.
You name it, they're probably gonna be there.
So it's the games.
Yeah, it's kind of like the prep to the Open. It's kind of like the last hurrah, and then of course they have the ECC the week or two after that. Yeah. So it's a fun time to kind of get that last little boost before everybody shuts it down and gets ready for the Open.
So how did you find out about CrossFit? Because I mean, you played football. Football's known for, you do some fun workouts. Yeah. But like, how did that transition from, hey, I'm hitting people, I might be flipping some tires, I'm hitting bags, to wads? Yeah, me and Jared, after I was done playing ball, me and Jared still kind of stayed friends, and he was kind of starting to dip a little bit in the CrossFit realm, and I had a buddy, Nick Johnson, that was living down in Jacksonville at the time, and he had been doing it for a little while. And I was ready for a change. I was done playing ball and going to school here. Was kind of ready for a new venue. So packed up my stuff, moved down to Jacksonville, and I became a part of the brotherhood known as CrossFit Ragnarok. Ragnarok.
If you're down in Florida, you know that gym, and it's the Ingram twins. They're my boys. They're my brothers till I die, man.
That's awesome.
We had a great time. I had a great exposure into CrossFit. Just a bunch of bros, that love to work out and love to be friends and hang out and get to know one another, be there for each other, and like we talked about, they're still my best friends to this day. I can hit up either of those guys and they do anything for me. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. And so, do you remember did you walk in like, hey, I'm gonna crush this, or did, and then do you remember what your first workout was? I do. I have the typical CrossFit story. Yeah. I did Fran. That's my first workout. I want to say it took me like 7.5 minutes. Yeah. And I remember just being like, these guys are nuts. I walked in. There's all these muscle heads. They're military cats. Yeah. So they knew what they were doing. And luckily for me, I think like the next week or the week after, they crushed my feelings. I walked in and did like a bench press day and a max squat day. Yeah. And they were like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And so that was kind of a fun little breakdown and then a little bit of boost up at the same time. And those guys, you want to talk about some crazy program. We did a lot of ruck runs and uneven, barbell carries, things like that, where it made a man out of me real quick. Wow. Real quick. That's cool. And because I find like where I started at CrossFit Springfield East with Mel, and a lot of that foundational, that beginners that I've taken with me all the almost the 3 years I've done it. Do you have that in mind when you programmed even for your football team? Yeah, I think the cool part of what I've learned educationally as far as fitness goes is, everything's modifiable. So that's one of the best points I have to anybody like that doesn't want to start fitness or isn't sure about it is me and you could do the same workout. And they kind of look at me like, yeah, okay. And once I explain it to them, on paper or whatever, they get it. And I think that being able to modify and kind of lay that groundwork, it'll improve as time will go on. Yeah. I think the best part about CrossFit is it's always fulfilling. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. I just PR'd my clean and my snatch within the last couple of months. That's awesome. And it just, you always are getting better. You're always finding new stuff that you didn't know you couldn't do. Yeah. That you could do, now you can. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, learning to go to that dark place. That's one thing I talked to Jess about, is just the level that she's on. That I told her, I've maybe gone to that dark place I can count on one hand. But she goes there daily. But but that's something that I could work towards. And that's the exciting thing about this world. As the mom in there next to me is going to be on the ground breathing hard
mean, that sounds really bad. We're going to be smoked at the end of the workouts, no matter what your fitness level, because you're going to go out there and put it all on the floor. And it takes someone that's a games athlete, a regional athlete, that go to that dark place to get there. But we still get the same workout, which is awesome.
And I've been fortunate, man. You know, I've been around a lot of guys. Jeff Evans, one of my best friends down in Florida. Jason O'Bannon, obviously Jared Stevens, all the people we have here.
Jeff is
Lauren,
strong.
You know, Lauren Brooks, I've known her for a long time. You know, all these people are just amazing athletes. And there's just something different about those guys. You know, they can go to a place that not many of us can go to. And that's probably one of my best parts and most favorite parts about announcing is I get to live that, you know, and I know you and I both know what it feels like, but then I get to convey it through the talents I have, and it's an awesome experience. I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like we know, like that's the cool thing about CrossFit. Like a lot of people, they might have played basketball, they might have played football or baseball growing up, and so they kind of know what it's like to play those sports, and that's why they're fans of it. But I think that's why the CrossFit world has such dedicated ravenous fans, is because they'll announce a workout at the games and we'll go the next day and try it, and or we'll hear a couplet and we're just like, that's nasty, and we see these amazing athletes get in there and move that weight, you know, like, and just know that this is where it's hurting. That first few rounds isn't bad, and that's the cool, exciting thing. And I'm glad that, because I never thought about that, like as your job as the MC to be out there and be like, hey, CrossFit Mayhem Freedom right now, like they're doing their muscle ups Unbroken, you know, I mean, that's why you're good at it. I don't know how to convey that in words, but just watching, I'm like, that's the pain cave right there. That look right there is the pain cave.
And like you said, you can sit there and go, well, I can do 5 muscle ups, but then as I'm announcing, you know, maybe 15 unbroken muscle ups for this athlete, you're going, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, 15, and to be able to spotlight those opportunities and just showcase the athletes we have in this sport it's unlike anything. It's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I remember my wife was really happy. She was doing the snatch at HOA, and you're like, and you walk over like, CrossFit Republic, 110 pounds on the bar, and she's like, no, I have to lift it. Like, it's just like that cool, like hearing that, you know, that call out right there. And that was her first RX comp, and that's one thing, her weakness is moving weight, but she can do endurance stuff for days. But all of a sudden she's like, oh, you noticed me, and I think that's impressive. Like the weight on the bar, like how good can you add by 45 like nobody else?
Oh, so I got a quick story for you.
Yeah.
So I called the Granite Games last year, and it was a blast. Great comp. Out there in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. I'd never even been to Minnesota, so it was quite the experience.
Lots of cheese.
It was awesome. But we were up there, and I get ready to call this event, and it's a max lift. Well, what it is, it's about, I believe it was like every 20 seconds, they get an opportunity to lift, and there'd be a 10-second rest.
Okay.
So it's just boom, 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 boom.
So it's fast.
It's fast. There's 8 platforms going, just one athlete at a time. So 3, 2, 1, go, lift. 3, 2, 1, go, lift. 3, 2, 1, go, lift. And I'm hopping from platform to platform.
And they don't have it like the games. They don't have like the number.
They don't have the math.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there as fast as I can doing the math. And luckily, fortunately, I've been around the weight room enough so I can do it pretty quick. But I remember at the end of that event going, I need to take a little break for
like my smoke brain is coming out of your ears.
And I was going, and I felt like the event was awesome. It was a lot of fun to call. They got some. I know the photographers got some great shots. There was a lot of hype from the fans around that event. But my brain was spinning, trying to put. You know, once you throw in girls' bars, you start throwing in colored plates.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it's stressful at the same time.
Man, and unfortunately, people get mad if you say the wrong weight.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those stories. You know,
let's hear some.
225 pounds on the bar. No, it's 235.
You're like, all right, 235. I think I heard that at HOA a few times. You're walking by, you're like, CrossFit Provision, and like the guy turned around, and it's like, no, it's this much. You're like, all right, CrossFit Provision. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm not putting the score on your card.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's why I kind of tease some of the competitors. I definitely try to keep it lighthearted.
Yeah.
I tell those guys, hey, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what's on the scorecard. So make sure that number is good. Don't listen to me.
Like your friends out there, do you tease them while they're in the middle of the event?
Yeah, you know, like I said, throughout my time, I've been able to get to know quite a bit of people, and So especially when we do the introductions, they come by, I'll wish them luck and, hey, you better bring it.
Yeah.
Or, maybe, hey, this is the time you got to get, or something like that. Or I'll be announcing, all right, CrossFit 417's doing a great job. And I'm going to pull the mic away and I'm going to say, hey, you got to go, like right now,
Time
And
to move.
that's the kind of a fun, aspect of just the smaller local comps to be able to kind of throw in a little bit with my friends.
Yeah.
The bigger ones, I got to be on. So I can't have too many distractions as far as my personal thoughts on what's going on at the moment. So I kind of just try and stay a little bit robot during those times. But during some local ones, I've had an opportunity to kind of whisper the ear and kind of say, hey, it's time to go. We got to push. So
did you ever have any like stories where you just totally messed up out there and you're just like, big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Like, I don't know.
I've been pretty fortunate. The guys that I work with, they all have some pretty funny stories. The hardest one for me is just announcing names.
Yeah.
I feel so bad, some names they can tell me a million times and I won't get it right. For instance, at Shredfest, last time we did a year and a half ago, this girl in the RX competitor, I won't even remember her name now, we're just whooping everybody. So I'm announcing her name all weekend. We go to do the podium.
Was it Mackenzie?
No, I don't remember who it was. I don't think it was Mackenzie.
Because it was like there was Brooke and Mackenzie, and I don't remember the third.
So that was the elite girl. So it was the next one down. So it was the RX girls. And this girl was just smoking everybody. And I had been saying her name wrong the whole weekend.
She didn't bother to tell you.
I said her name 50 times.
Yeah.
And she didn't even, bat an eye. And they kind of jokingly, I think her mom she came up to me right before the podium. She said, hey, you say it like this. And I remember being like, I've probably said that girl's name a million times.
She's probably known from here on out. Like people at her gym are like, "Oh, it's this then."
It's kind of a blessing in disguise though, because I remember in all my football games, nobody could pronounce my name right. It was Roggow,
yeah,
you name it, they came up with it. So it's kind of a little backfire, a little bit of all the times I got ticked off.
Hey guys, I know what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So you've been doing CrossFit for 4.5 years, and you played a lot of sports and football and where do you see yourself going with this? I know you're coaching right now and is that turning into something that you're just, hey, I'm really loving this side of it? Like, where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, man. So, coming out of college, I was an electronic media major. Wanted to actually do radio broadcasts, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Thought that was going to kind of be my venue. Through the waves of life, I met some great owners. I've been doing CrossFit for about a year and a half, and I met Lindsay and Casey Jinks. They're the owners of CrossFit Kings Point at the time, and my friend Jason O'Bannon took a coaching job up there, so he's like, hey man, come up and hang out for the weekend, get to know my new box. I was like, cool man, of course.
Yeah.
I was doing some media stuff from home, and so just still kind of didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I wanted to start my own business or whatever, but long story short, went up to Orlando with him and got to meet Lindsay and Casey, and small talk. We just hung out for the weekend, a bunch of CrossFitters. We worked out, we went out, we had a good time, and the next week, Lindsay reached out to me and she said, hey, you ever thought about being a coach? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that'd be the coolest job ever.
Yeah.
Didn't really know where it was going to end up. Started off as just basically an intern, learning the ropes. I had a couple great coaches that I was learning from. Mike Koenig, I'm still friends with to this day.
Yeah.
We still communicate about programming and all that stuff. So anyways, I had a great base at Kings Point. And so what I did there just kind of matured. I was there for about a year and a half and went through some transitions of the gym with them and really just built myself into like a good coach.
Yeah.
Then after that, I sought out a head coach position. Was able to get that at CrossFit Lake Mary.
Cool.
Was there for a little bit under a year, and there it was like a whole nother role. Different group of people, different gym. It was.
Now, were you programming or just you were?
I did a little bit of programming at CrossFit Kings Point, and then I did very minimal programming as far as the gym at Lake Mary. We did a lot of the comp train type stuff. We did some modifying of that. Okay. So I did do a little bit of programming, but my main focus was the people and membership retention.
So that's like what the head coach.
Stuff. Okay. Yeah. And it was my job to teach the new coaches that we had and hold group meetings, take them through coaching seminars and stuff like that, and so that was a great opportunity too. And those two places, my experiences there with the people there, I can't thank them enough for what they made, because now I mean, I'm living the dream, man.
Yeah.
I'm with the football team that I poured my heart and blood into
For 5 years.
Yep. I'm at the gym that, one of the gyms I started out, I was a member here. Within the first year of Jared being open, I moved back and was a part of this gym for a little while. And, without those experiences I had in Orlando, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And right now, I couldn't think of a better spot to be. I get to do strength conditioning, which is a cool aspect of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do the fitness side with the CrossFit, and I also get to do the faculty and student stuff. So right now, man, I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. I love coaching.
Yeah.
I love people. I love being able to invest in people's lives. I actually wear these 2 rings on my finger to remind myself that I'm always second. And the best feeling I've gotten throughout my time is when I start putting myself second to other people first.
That's awesome.
And the relationships that you get by doing that, and the support you get is everything you
Yeah.
do. So as long as I can keep doing that, man, whatever venue that the good Lord takes me on, I'm cool with. Because I have 100 football players on top of the 8 coaches I work with just at the school, on top of the faculty members and the students I get to work with there. And then I come up here to 417, 200 members I get to hang out with on top of all the athletes. Then I get to MC, and I get to meet hundreds of thousands of people that way. And I just get to love on those people and get to enjoy this ride of life with them. And it's cool, man. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you're touching people's lives.
Yes.
And I have that same personality. I feed off of that. Like, a stranger is a friend I just haven't met yet. And I can see that in you, because when I first walked into 417, what was it, like a month ago or something like that?
Give or take, something like that.
And you were the first one, like, hey, how's it going? And I was just like, oh, hi, like, hey, you're the MC guy, And so, I mean, but you were just so friendly, and that's the cool thing about that I see in you is you're just, hey, I'm gonna be out there, and you say you're shy, but I can see that you want people to feel welcome.
And this is the one place, CrossFit, weight room at the school, things like that. That's the one place I can be me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be fake. I don't have to be anything I'm not. I can have a ponytail. I can have a headband. I can have goofy socks. I can have tight sweatpants, and I can just be me.
Yeah.
I can be comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
And there's a lot saying with that. And with coaching, as I'm sure you know, there's some early mornings. Alarms going off at 4:00. You're not getting home until 8:00. Things like that. But when you're doing what you love, man, there's nothing better.
There's nothing better. Now, you have 2 rings. One's a blue one and one's a green one. How did that come about? I mean, that's really cool, just that symbolism of putting yourself second.
It's funny. Everybody kind of has their thing, And one thing I've learned, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and one thing I've learned is when I stop putting myself first, a lot of good things happen. When things are kind of spiraling downhill, my priorities aren't where they need to be.
Right.
And I went through a time where a lot of that stuff was revealed to me, and I was being really selfish in my decisions and my thought processes and everything, and it caused a lot of problems in my life. And so I was at Crush Games a couple months ago, and this guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, you want some rings?" And I was like, "Yeah, like what am I gonna do with these?"
What's this all
I was
about?
like, I don't know. Sure. So he gave me like 8 of these rings. So I have all kinds of different colors and matching combos. I try to match them with my socks kind of as my joke. But so I had these rings just sitting on my desk for a long time, and in my bathroom I have a prayer list of all the people I pray for, and that kind of goes into my job of just being able to love on people. And one day I was kind of sitting there just dwelling on some stuff, and I saw these rings sitting here, and I go, you know what? I need a reminder that I need to be putting myself second. So I'm like, okay, do I put a rubber band on? Do I wear a necklace? What's going to be kind of like my thing? And then those rings were sitting there, and I was like, I'm just going to throw them on.
Yeah.
And it's been such a cool opportunity because you can't tell me people are like, what's up with the rings?
And then you get to share your story.
And now I can share it. And it's cool, it's just kind of adds on to what's become the person I am, my experiences and my faith has really helped me as far as that goes, and just I'm second.
So it sounds like you hit a low point for a while. Do you feel comfortable sharing that, or?
Yeah, I just I went through. I was married for 2 years and went through a hard time with that, and like I said, my decisions they caused problems, and there's a lot of selfish times in that small period that really changed a lot about my life, and to this day, I have to live with those decisions, and it's a tough pill to swallow, man, and luckily with the place that I'm at and the people I'm around, it makes those mornings, those days a little bit easier, but I needed a reminder that what happens when you make those decisions for yourself, and so now going through the grieving process and still learning from it and getting through it, it's been a lot of maturing, a lot of lonely nights, and you keep pouring yourself out there, man, and God will be faithful. That's kind of been my theme this last year, is just be you, work hard, be faithful to who you are, and everything else will plan out for itself, and it's worked out so far.
It sounds like you've lived a little bit of like a gypsy life since college.
Yeah, I was Missouri, Florida, just kind of jumped all around. I was in 3 different spots in Florida. I was in Jacksonville, I was in Fort Myers, I was also in Orlando. So learned a lot in that about 5-year window. Yeah. And now I'm 28, be 29 next month, and sometimes I just step back and just think about how grateful I am of all the opportunities that if I wouldn't have went through those experiences, especially recently, I wouldn't be this person that is really trying to put other people before himself. I used to not be that way. Yeah. Even when I was a coach, there was times where I was like, well, I'm the athlete. Where now, coming here, it was humbling. I went from top notch. I was the head of the gym. I could beat anybody in a workout. I come here and I'm like, I got members beating me, let alone the elite guys. And so it's been fun, and it's matured me a lot very quickly, and it's exposed me to a lot of weaknesses in myself that I didn't know I had. I've had to look myself in the mirror a couple times and kind of go, hey, like your outlook on this is wrong. Yeah. You're doing this for you, and it's been cool seeing as my heart's changed, which has taken some time, the benefits that I've reaped from it.
That's cool. I really appreciate that, and that's the cool thing. Like as we get older, we notice that kind of stuff. Like me and my wife, we've been married 10 years, and the things that we've I have 3 kids now, and just the stuff that used to set me off, and now just as I've gotten older, and I'm like, okay, no big deal, whatever, and it's just like aging, and you say putting other people first. I have 3 little monsters running around, and it's amazing when you're like, I'd really like to go do this, but I'm putting other people, and it sounds like your net of family is so big because of what you do, and that's one thing that I respect any CrossFit coach that I run into. They sincerely care and want you to succeed, and they I don't. So I feel like some could say they love you, their class, their students and stuff like that. And just being a member, seeing someone change their technique from a coach's tip, and I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. They just totally crushed that PR. And as a coach, I'm sure that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. Just kind of what you touched about, just loving on people, man. I have an opportunity now with my lifestyle and the way things are that I can love people, and that's been something that it's on my arm. We were talking about tattoos earlier. Yeah. Me and my sister got this tattoo. She got it on her ribcage. I got it on my forearm. It says "Do Love Walk," and it's based around Micah 6:8. Basically, what it says is do right, love mercy, and walk humbly. Awesome. And what a great reminder. That on a daily basis, I got 90 little brothers that are looking up to me that I can love on. Yeah. I can pick on. Yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna be there for them no matter what. I got 25 aunts and uncles out there, grandparents, whatever you want to call them, little brothers, little sisters here at the gym, cousins, brothers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. They're my family. Yeah. And I feel like I said, God put me on this earth to love all these people. And that was a concept I didn't understand for a long time. Right. It was, I'm getting paid to do this, so that's what I'm supposed to do. And once my mentality switched from this is my job to this is my passion, man, like that's where all the benefits of where I'm at now have happened. And it took, like I said, it took some changing of the path and of my heart, but man, it's been awesome. Now I can just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, you have the biggest smile on your face right now. I respect that so much. Let's I'm trying to think of I love talking to people. I love interviewing people. And one of the things that I like to bring up is just picking their mind on certain things of fitness.
Yeah.
The Unbroken Podcast, that's the name of the show. And when I started it, I wanted to, unbroken, okay, that's a common term in weightlifting and CrossFit. Hey, I'm going to do this unbroken. And then you're considered a bad A, but the more I got thinking about that concept, is in life, we live it unbroken. I mean, we're moving forward, we're striving to better ourselves as people. And sometimes we have to hit those really hard times. For you, and I talk about Unbroken Podcast is about weight loss, weightlifting, and fitness. But I think I can cast that into like family and coaching. But for you, what is like living life unbroken? I tell people to be unbroken, live unbroken.
Yeah. So for me, man, we touched on a couple. I blew my knee out in college. I went through a tough time personally, and the unbroken mentality is something that a lot of people have a hard time with. It's hard to get back up when you get knocked down.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do another rep when you don't want to do another rep.
Yeah.
It's hard to add 10 pounds when you don't want to add 10 pounds. But the unbroken concept is to me, those experiences, those things that you do make you stronger, which if you're stronger, you're not going to break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the stronger we can get through those trials and through those hard times, like the harder it is for the devil, for me personally, in my faith, to break me.
Yeah.
Or an experience I go through to get broken through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I joke with people, and members are going to laugh at me now, but what's the worst that could happen? That's what I always tell them.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's realistic injuries, things like that, but I'm not going to put them in that position. They're going to hurt, but I'm like, well, they'll be like, oh, I can't do that. Well, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to do it?
Yeah.
And so, and that's kind of an aspect that I try to kind of live by a little bit, and it kind of goes into that unbrokenness where it's like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm not going to break.
Yeah.
I may fall. I have to get back up.
But you're going to get back up.
I'm going to get back up.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about, love and hate about a workout that's like, hey, you have to do all 20 of these unbroken. If you stop, you have to do a burpee penalty. And I hate burpees. I hate burpees. If I do break, I'll do the burpees and I'll keep moving, but I'm going to do 2 or 3 more extra reps. I'm going to get that much stronger, move that much further. And now I've done workouts in the past where if I had to do 30 of something unbroken and I couldn't, now I can. And I think that's living life. I think we're hitting those moments where we're just, you might in your mind say you've broken, but you're getting stronger moving forward, and then next thing you know, you're doing 30. But then you're getting heavier, and you're moving forward, you're becoming better, and I think that's that cycle of striving towards that unbrokenness.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a concept Jared actually taught me a little bit, we preach it to our members all the time, is the body will follow the mind.
Yeah.
So if we can get your mind where it needs to be, as far as the focus and the drive and the want to do it, your body's going to follow it.
Yeah.
And that's where, we got plenty of jokes around the gym, but to fix your face, things like that, where, we get in these moments of suffering. We're in the middle of just a grueling workout, life, whatever it is, and you're suffering, your face is all tore up, and you look all crazy. If somebody were to yell at you, fix your face would change, but then your posture's going to change, your mindset's going to, and everything's going to go. So one thing, we try to preach to our athletes, and of course the team does a great job as they went to the games last year, is their bodies follow their minds.
Yeah.
Their minds are set on the prize. Yeah. And I think we can use that with life. Sometimes we get to where our circumstances or whatever it may be kind of cause our face to get a little crazy, and our body starts just going crazy. Well, we need to set our mind on what we're trying to do, and everything else will follow.
Yeah, if you're defeated in your mind, your body's going to show it.
Exactly. So you look at the weight and go, I can do this. Tell yourself, get it. And you're not just, I can do this.
Yeah.
Believe that you do it in your head, your body's going to do it.
That's the coolest thing, because I lived that the other day. I was trying to, we were doing an EMOM, a snatch EMOM, and you're supposed to add weight everything. And I was just like, I'm going to start light and just kind of build up. But then I was like, no, I'm going to start at the starting, and then I'm just going to go up. And I'm like, I'm going to hit my 1 rep max. I might get over it. And I remember when I was looking at the bar and it was my 1 rep max, and my heart started racing, and I started doubting myself. And I went for it and I missed it. And then I got up and I was like, all right, you can do this.
Yep.
There's no reason. And when I approached the bar, I felt different to the bar, and I nailed it. It felt the cleanest I've ever done snatch, and that's cool. And we're almost on an hour, man. This has been a lot of fun, and it goes by quick.
Yeah.
Usually what I like to ask people, what are the top 3 things, like, and you've been coaching a while, and so you talk to certain people, what are the top 3 things that you would give advice of a person that not necessarily just CrossFit, but just come in like really want to get healthy?
Yeah.
Or start.
First thing is set realistic goals. Make sure you surround yourself with a group of people that can help you set attainable goals. Mm-hmm. I think it's good to lay out plans as far as weekly, monthly, yearly. Really get a time frame of where you want to be, and make sure it's realistic. I think that's the first one. Second one, kind of along with that, is don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be fun. We've been talking, like you said, for an hour, and it's fun, man.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you don't love it and you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not gonna last very long.
Yeah. You have to enjoy the process.
Yes, enjoy it. Enjoy the people you're around doing it with. Whether it is CrossFit or another venue, enjoy the aspect of what you enjoy inside that venue. Mm-hmm. For me, I just love throwing down with my bros.
Yeah.
And so that was an aspect that I latched onto very quickly and just learned to expose over time. Yeah, they were whooping. Man, I got whooped. I still get whooped all the time by these freak athletes. Yeah. But I love being around that atmosphere. So that's been something that, find what you can clean onto and move with that. Don't take it too seriously. Yeah. And then third is just, don't set limits for yourself. If you want, I was a 145-pound senior out of high school.
Yeah.
And I'm this 200-pound guy that's able to clean 315 with 3 knee surgeries and everything else I've been through.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. And once you set your mind to it, man, just go.
Go for it.
Just go. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Right. Wow. All right. Well, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. How can people find you if they want to follow you?
Yeah. I'm a big social media guy. I love Instagram. Instagram's been a lot of fun, interacting with people on there. So if you want to find me on that, it's at lowercase I _ MAM _ B minus BMINUS. I also do some Snapchat stories. Those are usually pretty funny. It's just me hanging out with my friends for the most part. That one's very similar to my Instagram, but not the exact same. It's at I am _ B minus. It's on my Instagram page. You can find it there. And then of course, the Facebook and the Twitter as well. But
nice.
But the big one I really enjoy is Instagram. Yep.
Cool, man. Well, I will put those links up on the website too, so people can start following you and listening to you there. And
I love interacting with people, man. I love seeing videos, whether they're funny, whether they're lifting PRs. I love it. So
sweet.
Send them my way.
Yeah. we'll get people going, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
All right, listeners, if you enjoyed what you were hearing, I would love for you to subscribe and like and comment. It makes other people find us on iTunes and Stitcher. And hey guys, remember to live unbroken.